Welcome back. Let me set a scene for you. You are sitting in a workshop and you're enjoying everything that you're learning, and you're looking through worksheets that you've been given. You're talking to the people next to you. You're engaging, maybe you're practicing, whatever it is. And then you look at your watch and you realize, oh, I need to leave. So you politely excuse yourself, gather up your things, and head out the door. Why? Could be reasons. And then there you go. What happens after that? Well, that's what we're going to get into today. Today we are going to talk about something that is spiritual etiquette. And you're like, well, what's that mean? It's a term I just came up with, but we'll get there. So basically, if you're in church, temple, mosque, you don't just get up in the middle of mass and leave. And this is not directed at those of you that leave after communion. I see you, and I understand you, because you're just trying to avoid the traffic getting out after service. I get that. And this is not the parents that have to get up in the middle of mass and go into the crying room, or maybe you decide it's just not worth fighting with a fussy baby, and we're just going to leave. We're going to go home because they're tired, they're cranky, they're hungry, they're teething, whatever's going on. The next hour to 45 minutes is not worth it. We're going to head home. Those situations are a little bit different. This centers around double bookings, poor planning, or just unforeseen circumstances that life throws at you. So let's carry on, shall we? So the first one is going to be actually running late. So this happens to all of us at one time or another. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a morning person by any stretch of the imagination. So if I know I have to be up early, I try to give myself ample time to get up, get a few extra minutes in bed, because I know it's going to take me 10 to 15 minutes to roll out of bed, and then get dressed, eat, and get there. Fair enough. Sometimes things happen. And it doesn't have to be in the morning. It can be in the afternoon. It can be at night. Sometimes just life throws curveballs at you, and that planning you had, the things you laid out, just don't go the way you want. And you leave early, or not you leave early, you leave late. You oversleep a little bit. You can't get going. The kids need something. The dog doesn't want to cooperate. Your spouse needs something. Maybe you live with parents or grandparents. They need help with something. You're trying to eat on the go. Food's not ready. It took longer than expected. You needed to run an errand after work that took longer than expected. And you're just scrambling, and you know you're going to be maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes late. Just let the person know. It happens. Life happens. Accidents, traffic lights. Most people have probably a 5-minute grace period. Even for Zoom calls that I've been on, there's usually like a 5 to 10 minute grace period where people just have tech issues. They don't have the right link. It happens. I will give you a few pieces of advice because this has happened. Verify your plans. Make sure that you're still on and what time it is. I can't remember if it was I know for my very first shamanic class, I think I was 10 or 15 minutes late, and I don't know what happened. I do know I got slightly disoriented while driving because I was so used to going to my teacher's house at night that going during the day, I was kind of completely disoriented. I didn't completely know I knew where I was, but I didn't know where I was. So that led to me being a little late. And I think I got an email from her like, "Are you still coming?" And then I just pulled in like, "Hi, I'm here. Sorry." I don't remember if it was a follow-up class. I don't remember what class it was for. It was another shamanic class. I thought it started at 10. That's what I calculated for. It started at 9. I got a call from my teacher, I think maybe around 9:30. "Are you still coming?" Yeah, class started at 10, right? No, it started at 9. Oh no. So I hustled out the door. I was probably maybe an hour 15 late. I don't remember if I left immediately because I had planned on leaving for 9:30. I don't remember how that worked out. But yeah, verify times. Verify that it's still going on. Get confirmation. This was another shamanic class. I never got the message because technology is a fickle mistress. Never got the message that class had been canceled. Everyone else bailed. I texted my teacher. I think I left maybe 5-10. I had gotten out of the house a little late and was like, I'm going to be like 5-10 minutes late. Just so you know, I'm still coming. She calls me up. You're the only one. I'm sorry, what? Did you not get my message? What message? She had messaged me. I don't remember if it was through a messaging app, emailed. I don't remember what it was. Never got it. So I was like, well, I don't have to come. I did end up going. She was okay with it. She had to scramble to get her stuff together. So me being late worked out. I think I even took a little extra time. Like I kind of chugged along a little bit toward the end and be like, all right, let me buy her some extra time. Just so she could set up. And so yeah, verify your times. And if you are going somewhere, if it's being hosted by like a new age store, if it's at someone's house, just if you want, be like, hey, are we still on? Like, is this still a thing? Is this the right time? Just to make sure so that either you're not showing up and it's been canceled or, that you have the right time. But yeah, we're all human. It happens. Just you roll with the punches. Now, what happens if you need to leave early? So maybe you've got work after you really want to go, whatever's going on. There's a class that's running, it's a workshop that's running, it's practice for whatever. It's a Reiki share, it's a drum circle, card reading, crystal, whatever is going on, rune reading, crystal ball practice. You really want to go. Maybe you have to go right to work, so you have to leave a little early. Maybe you've planned, oh, this person's in town, or I'm going to meet this person for lunch, blah, blah, blah. Oh, people are coming to my house. Well, if it's someone that's coming to your house, like for construction or whatever, you're kind of at the mercy of them because their work, the theme of this video you're going to notice is going to be communication and respect. Respect of your time, respect of the time and effort of the people that you were working with, because they have taken the time to set up the event, to prepare things, to prepare lessons, to get the space clean and ready. So, and that is also true if you have like someone's coming to do landscaping or someone's coming to look at a job for construction or painting or whatever. You have to be respectful of their time. The best thing you can do, and the thing I would be, is if you have a situation like that where you're going to have to leave early for work or other plans, please let the person know, at the very least, if you can, the night before, maybe the morning of, text them. Let them know before you walk in. And there's a reason why. So that person can try to adjust whatever they were planning on doing. If it's something like a Reiki share or a drum circle card, if you're doing readings for people, more than likely you're going to be one of the first or second people to go. The way we do card readings is we play like a game. So you have however many people, they might bring X number of card decks, and each person gets one card per deck per person. So you could easily end up with like a 15 to 20, 25 card spread in front of you, and each person goes around and reads the card from their deck. Now, if you know someone's got to leave early, guess what's going to happen? As the host, I would have to take them out a minute because I have to get ahead of everybody, because doesn't matter how old anyone is, the group you're dealing with, when it comes to things people enjoy, you are now dealing with 5-year-olds. They're all excited and can't wait to get started. It's like, well, hold on. The reason why I say this is the women I work with are somewhere between the ages of 25 and maybe 70, 75, and everybody's like all ready, rip raring and ready to go. And it's like, wait, no, hold on. Whoever is leaving needs to go first. They have to be the first 1, 2, 3, 4 cards down, however many decks they have. If they know they're leaving early, they may only bring one deck. So it's like, okay, cool. You're the first card. If they come with someone else that they're leaving with, you're the second card. First and second card, you go first for everybody. Then let it be a free for all. Then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure they get their full reading first. And then they're going to go through and do their one or two cards for everyone else. So that when they have to leave, it's not as disruptive. Because that's kind of what you're trying to avoid, is you want to avoid disrupting the energy of the space. So if it's for a Reiki share, guess what? Same deal. You're going first. You're first or second. However, maybe the host goes first. Whoever else will go second. Then once it gets closer to the time you have to leave, that next person or whoever it is, you don't take part in that. You gather out your stuff and you can leave without disrupting any energy, without disrupting the flow, without distracting anybody. We can all say goodbye. You've delivered any messages you need to deliver. Let anybody know anything they need to know and just go on your merry way. Fine. Drum circle, same deal. They'll wait until there's a natural break. So it might be after maybe the initial journey, the healing ceremony, before the readings begin. There will be a natural break where it's like, you can leave. This is the spot where you pull up quietly, you say your goodbyes, and then you just duck out. You also, now, in some situations, if it's an actual class and it's a large class, and you let the person know you have to leave. Now, it depends on why you're leaving. If you're leaving for something like work, or someone's had to drive you because maybe you've got car trouble, maybe you don't like driving at night, you're not a fan of it's been really raining a lot and you're not comfortable driving, whatever it may be, it's old, young, middle-aged, whatever, doesn't matter. Sometimes people just don't feel like driving and someone drops them off. And you might say to this person, hey, I have to leave exactly at 4 o'clock. I have to leave exactly at 8:30. I have to leave exactly at 3. Be aware that you may be missing out on information. You're going to miss the rest of the class. As long as you're all right with that, that's fine. That should generally be fine with the person teaching. It will depend on the nature of the class. So let them know at least the night before, because they may actually tell you, they may give specific guidelines of, okay, like that's okay, but maybe, we have to work something out first. Because I know in some classes, if you're paired off and practicing, and you've got an even number of people and someone needs to leave, well, now you've got an odd number of people. And so how does that work as far as practice goes? Same thing, I guess, if you have an odd number of people and that person leaves, it's not terrible, but you kind of see where this is going. So just let them know. If you have work, same deal. As long as you're okay with missing stuff, that's fine. It should be fine. However, that being said, do not be surprised if it's like an auditorium or if it's a speaker, if it's a large class. Most of the classes I know are generally taught in someone's home. So you would just kind of sneak out through the door and leave. If it's a larger event, you may be asked, or even if it is in someone's home, you may be asked to take a seat in the back of a room. You may be asked to sit by a door. They may tell you, no, you can't sit there. You need to sit here. And if you don't like that, that's on you, because this is the consequences of your choices. Because they are trying to put you in a position where you will create the least distraction when you have to leave. So, if it's a natural break, they may not care, or they may still put you somewhere because if someone's prepping for another part of a ritual or another part of a ceremony, another part of an event, it might still be distracting to see someone get up and leave, so they may still have you sit by an exit so that it's easy to leave. Now, there are other situations where asking to leave early may end up getting you some answers you don't like. Example, an all-day class. You're like, hey, is it okay if can you shorten the class? Can I leave early? Blah, blah, blah. You may get a no. No, you can't leave. I need you here for this entire class because of X, Y, and Z. Can you shorten the class? No, I cannot shorten the class. Don't take the class. Take it when it comes back around, or the person decides to offer it again in their time. Because whatever the style of class is, they can't shorten it. And you can't miss some of the information or some of the stuff that is going on. It's imperative, especially if it's a multi-part class. No, you can't leave. Well, then you either take the class and stay the entire time and adjust your other plans, or don't take it. Another time that I highly recommend not leaving, when you may specifically be told, no, you can't leave early, is in certain types of rituals. So, say you're going in to help someone do house cleansing. Some people will also do psychopomp work. And psychopomp work, very briefly explained, is when there is a dead spirit in the house or in an area that has not moved on, and they help to try and move the spirit on. It doesn't always work. It may take a couple times. Sometimes the spirit is like, nope, this is my home and I'm not leaving. I actually know an instance of that where the owner of the house, the wife of the man that built it, the house has been cleansed at least 3 or 4 times that I know of, and she will not leave. As far as she is concerned, that is her home, and she is not leaving. She is not crossing over. At that point, I don't know. I mean, she's not an evil spirit. She's a little unfriendly. So at that point, I don't know if you would call on a priest to basically do a minor rite of exorcism on the house, or you just deal with it. That would be up to the owner. I know at the time the owner was very upset because the house had been in the middle of construction and it had just come to a stop. And she was quite unhappy about seeing her house in such a state of disarray. So I don't know if it has since gotten better. But that is a situation where, yes, there are natural breaks in a house cleansing when someone can politely leave if they need to. I've seen it happen a few different times for a few different reasons. One was the person just physically was in pain, their own pain, and just couldn't do it anymore. The basic cleansing had been done, and before the final cleansing ritual and blessing, for lack of a better term, on the house was done, they had to step out. Another time was there was a spirit harassing the person, just didn't like this person, and basically drove the person out of the house. Ironically, no one else was bothered by this specific spirit. So that can happen. I don't know if I would recommend leaving in a situation like that if you're being harassed by a spirit without taking the time to cleanse yourself before you got in your car. So if you do this kind of work, maybe bring sage, Palo Santo, whatever kind of cleansing agents, a lighter with you in your car to avoid accidentally bringing something home with you. And make sure that you've shut down. So if you really do need to leave in the middle like that, take precautions that you are safe and don't have any hitchhikers. But I don't know, that's why I would say I don't recommend leaving in the middle of a situation like that, because you're in such a tizzy that you forget to shut down and shield and protect yourself because you're just like, I got to get out of here. But it also can potentially throw off the energy of the other people that are counting on you to help with this blessing or to help with whatever's going on. And especially if you're in the middle of something. There are other also healing ceremonies. So there's another shamanic healing where it's a group healing. And it could be something like medicine for the earth, where as a group, you are healing a place. Um, Usually it's a place where there's something is going on. It could be a mass grave of sorts. So like say there was a massacre in a location, a ship went down and there's a lot of spirits. You have a lot of animals getting sick. Something like that. Something where there's been something going on and people generally agree like, okay, this is the spot we're going to focus on and we're all going to sit and do that. Well, if you have to get up and leave in the middle of that, that's very distracting. That could be significant because there's no natural break in that. It's beginning, middle, end. There is no natural break. There is no natural succession where, okay, we're going to stop and then we're going to leave. You might have maybe to do a journey to see what people get as the root of the problem before the healing ceremony, but realistically there's no natural break there. There is also a type of group healing that I've seen done where someone has something going on. Someone has brought a client to a group, or they've brought up that someone that they need as someone that needs a lot of extra help. And you are asked either to partake in the ceremony, either doing soul retrieval, spirit animal retrieval, extraction. You're doing one of those things, or you are asked to hold space. And when the people that are asked to kind of hold space is you are holding this circle. You are holding the protection. You are calling in your animal guides, your ancestors, your angels, your spirits, whoever it is, to help hold, guide, and protect the other participants. So if you have to leave in the middle of that, guess what the answer is going to be? Don't come, or you stay for the whole thing, because you can't leave. So be aware of what it is. Be aware of what's going on. Be aware of what you're going to. I've never heard of anyone needing to leave during either of those situations because generally when it's planned, it's pretty well planned out. And I think I would safely say that most people, maybe 75 to 90% of the time, are well-meaning. You know, it's no fault of their own. It's just something has come up. Couple things overlap, and hey, I need to leave to be here for this. And the people that are planning will do the best they can to either make accommodations or just strongly suggest that, hey, maybe you don't come this time. You know, I'm going to do it again. I'll do it again at another time. Maybe I'll work with you because I know you want to do it, and we'll find a date that works better for you, and then other people can plan around it. That's fine. That is the open communication and respect that is necessary in order for this to succeed. Now, those of you that are entitled and think, well, why can't this person work around me? What do you mean I can't leave? You're not entitled to anything. You are helping someone else. And if you can't understand that, you are here to help, heal, and act as a light for others. Or if you want to if you are thinking like, I would like to participate in one of these, or like I had thought of holding a healing ceremony. I haven't quite planned it out yet for a bunch of friends that I think could really do with something like that. In a situation like that, none of them are any kind of practitioners. This is just me being like, hey, would you be interested in just a surface level healing? Everybody's got some stuff going on, I know. How do you feel about this? If someone came to me and said they had to leave early for something like that, would I be annoyed? Yeah, probably. Would I get it? Yes, I would get it. Because it means that they either they have another, what's the word I'm looking for? Not occupation. Commitment. They have another commitment that they need to keep. It could be that like a couple of my friends are married, so it might be that, hey, I need to go help my in-laws with something. I need to help my parents with something. I'm not going to fault someone for that. So That's why you need to communicate and be respectful of everyone's time. And that's basically all this is. This is a very long-winded way of saying just be respectful of other people's time. Be respectful of the sacred space someone has taken the time to make and build, because you don't want to be the reason why that gets shattered. And I've seen what happens when people just abruptly have to depart. It can be really hard to get that kind of feeling of sacred space back. It can be very hard for people to get back into that mindset. So working with the hosts, working to figure out a way to be the least disruptive possible so that everyone gets to enjoy, everyone gets their uplifting experience, their healing, or maybe you acknowledge, hey, I can't make it for this thing. I'd love to come, really want to be there, really want to help, but I know I'm not going to be able to stay for the whole thing because I have to go to little Jimmy's baseball game, or little Susie has a dance recital and I need to be there, or I meet with another group that works at night because there's people all over the country. And this is, it's late here for the East Coast, but over there it's not. So just communicate, be respectful of not only the people that are coming to you, but of the people that are hosting. That's all it is. Respect and communication. It's essentially what it comes down to. All right. Well, I rambled on enough. This video went longer than I intended. I'll probably cut some stuff out. Maybe. I'll see you all again soon. All right. Bye.